Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our second one for day 4 of the Scrapbooking Fun Summit. Some already great comments for you in the comments.
Yeah.
For you, Sarah, in the chat. Sara Lihz, so great to actually get to talk to you live. So there you go. You have a fan base. That is always
it's always good to be here, you know?
Yes. So welcome. A little bit of housekeeping that we do every day is welcome our sponsors, and Sarah is our sponsor for today. So thank you for sponsoring our summit and sponsoring one of our days. And let me see if I get this right for Sarah. So there you go. Sarah loves to create, actually my way of presenting Sarah's company, and Sarah loves to create things that are accessible, that make crafting accessible for you, that allow you to do it and make it easy and fun. And so she specializes in what she calls her emergency kits. And I couldn't believe it when I looked. You had 84 emergency kits, which is a crazy number. And I know many of you are familiar with her emergency kits, and you get a taste of it in the freebie. And if you're in the VIP, you get a more extensive kit that she's put together. And Sarah does a ton of videos. She has a Patreon account as well, and she has lots of cool things coming up. So Sarah, thank you so much for sponsoring us, and go check out what Sarah has. And then our other sponsor is our creative sponsor, which we're talking about today, is Whimsy Stamps. So Whimsy Stamps has been a sponsor with us since day one. And they have, as Tracy likes to say, kind of quirky, kind of different stamps that you can use, just a different flair. I remember last year around this time, they came out with like menopausal stamps. Yes, stamps for menopause, and other things. So they have a soft side and a sentimental side, but they always have a quirky and a fun side. And we really appreciate them. They have sponsored us from the first day. So it is awesome. Tracy's at a live crop running a store. So she's off camera when people are coming to buy stuff from her. She'll come back when she's not. So that's why you don't see her on camera. And we are going to change the view. So Sarah's front and center. And we're going to ask a really simple question to start with, Sarah. Where are you in the world?
Oh, yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm in Nebraska, like right in the center of the U.S. here. And yeah, it's a lovely rainy Saturday here.
We're having snow in tomorrow, so
we'll say that out loud.
Yeah, I know. It's early for us, and we're expecting 10 centimeters, which is like 2 inches or something like that. So it's like, okay, sure, let's have snow. So,
I can't handle that yet.
It is early, but it won't stay. Like when it's that early, it never stays. So it's kind of there. Are you a card maker, a scrapbooker, a dabbler of many different crafts? What were you put yourself?
Yeah, so I'm primarily a card maker at this point. But I've done all the things, right? Except for maybe scrapbooking, but that's just because I don't take pictures. And so I don't have anything to scrapbook, but I love making handmade cards, pop-up cards, interactive cards. But then I also, as Heather mentioned, release free printable kits a handful of times a month. The big kit always comes out on the first Friday. So that was yesterday. So there's this huge 50-page thanks and gratitude kit that just came out, and a good portion of that is free. But anything with paper, I'm in. I'm happy to try.
What do you like about paper? Actually, I've never asked this one of all you paper lovers. What is it that you love about paper?
My brain keeps thinking about sewing. I tried a lot of mixed media, a lot of sewing before I got into card making. And there were just so many like edges I had to deal with and things I had to make tidy. I love that you can play with paper and make it as simple or as complicated as you want, right? It's a really unique medium in that way. I don't do a lot of mixed media anymore, mostly because I have 2 young kids. And so the chances of being interrupted while there's paint out are very high. And then trying to clean up gets hard. But at some point, they're getting older. I would love to get back into mixed media too.
I'm just thinking your analogy to sewing, because when you sew, the material can move. It's more pliable. But paper has the same fun colors and structures, but it's not as pliable or movable. So
I'm so bad at sewing. Like, let's not. It's not good.
I learned to sew very young, and I would say, yes, I was bad at some of it. And then I'm left-handed, and sewing machines are very right-handed.
Yes.
They're extremely right-handed tool, which most people don't realize. But when you feed it through the sewing machine, I always pinned everything wrong. and then I would go and put it in the machine, and then I would have to go repin it to pin it correctly. And I know you can pin straight, but that never really worked for me. So it was like this challenge of pinning it and doing that. So yeah. But I get that paper would have the same beautiful colors and fabrics and things.
Yeah, and patterns. And somebody yesterday was saying, gosh, was it with you guys? That fabric is like a step or two ahead of paper crafting when it comes to trends. And that they pull a lot of inspiration from fabric. And I was like, that's cool. So I need to go do that. I'm excited about it.
I think that was Cindy. It was yesterday, and it was like, I'm very visual. It was the person who was in the bottom corner on the VIP call, which was Cindy. It's like, who's down over there? It was that person. So it was Cindy. But there's a lot of Karina, who has been in our summits before. She's not now. She was a fabric designer, and then she moved into the card making and doing that. So she took from that that same design and brought that fabric design into the paper designing and card making. So it does, I can see, never thought about it, but you can see the synergy between them. So
yeah.
Excellent. Somebody said so much fantastic. There is a lot of really good information in the summit this time. So hope everybody is enjoying it. I agree with that. How did you get started in this? How did you get started in your business of doing this as a business?
It started as something else. My business has been around for, 12 years, maybe. And I was doing craft fairs, and I sort of started with some mixed media stuff, but I branded and sort of registered this business to be a card shop. And so I sort of invested heavily in some grid panel and shelving and things like that to set up I call it the double wide craft fair booth that was just full of handmade cards. And I think I did that for a season before realizing that there's no profit in making cards to sell them. Like, people just don't want to spend that much money on cards. And so to pay for the booth, I just wasn't making that much profit. And I was struggling. I was getting frustrated. So slowly but surely, I started sort of adding other things into the booth. And the card section just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And so by the time I was done with craft fairs, which wasn't that long ago, 2.5 years maybe, it was 90% custom snarky jewelry. People would tell me I did Morse code, and so they would tell me what they wanted it to say, and I would make these custom pieces. And it was a really scary move. My mother-in-law would help me at every single craft fair, and I told her at one show it was sort of lagging in the afternoon, and I'm like, Robin, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like, I don't think this is fun. And like, we had just come back, COVID, all the shows shut down. So this was maybe a year, 2 years after that. When they opened back up, I was like, this doesn't fill my bucket. And I had been selling emergency cards, or trying to. And if you're not familiar with my kits, what we do is we make cards with interchangeable sentiments. So like this guy, right, has this little circle sentiment. And actually there are 89 kits now, if you count the one from yesterday. And most of them, right, 95% of them have a circle sentiment set in that size. So you can swap in whatever you want. And so I was trying to sell these cards to people, and it had the spot for the sentiment. And then I had bins of just sentiments they could choose from. You buy the card, you pick 4, off you go. And it just took 10 minutes to explain it to people. So they weren't buying them. But every time a card maker would come by, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I need to do this. So I told my mother-in-law I was done with shows. I was like, I think I'm going to try to make a YouTube channel. And not the first video, I had done sort of, we'll call them 5 practice videos before that, like 7 months prior. But on the first of the year, I was like, we're going to do this. We're going to give it a try. And I posted a video with my first emergency card kit, and it exploded. Like, I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. And so very quickly I had 1,000 subscribers, like within the month. And I was like, oh, this is it. And the feedback I got from people was so kind, and people telling me that like they're on a budget and they didn't really have a way to get crafty supplies, and that this was really helpful for them. So I just went for it. That was it.
And that's all. And the comments reflect that, because we have one here that says, Sarah is such a great teacher. I love emergency card sets. We have another one here that says, hello, Sarah. So happy to see you again. Love, love, love your. So they even have an acronym because we can create acronyms for everything.
Yes, easy face.
I made a couple 100 cards annually for charities, families, and friends, and your kits are a lifesaver. How did you come up with the name Emergency? I haven't asked you that before, and I'm like,
yeah, it's my mother-in-law did it.
Okay.
So we were selling these cards. I had a little spinner they were on, and we went through 4 or 5 names, some of which like really didn't make sense, really didn't fit, and so it was probably a year into trying to sell these cards. No one understood. That she's like, well, they're kind of like emergency cards or cards for emergencies. And I was like, you are right. You grabbed the card, you grabbed the sentiment because you didn't know that it was somebody's birthday and they were coming into town. That's exactly what they are. So she did that. She's amazing.
Very cool. It's because I'm thinking, where did it come from?
Yeah.
Somebody said, what an adorable card. Love the freebie. So can you share your card and share what you put together for that?
So we make, I think it's 2 cards start to finish, and then a couple of cards where I just show you how to stretch things. But they're using a pull tab surprise mechanism. So you sort of pull this and it pops open. So in your freebie, and you guys, if you have that free ticket, make sure you're going and grabbing all your freebies today, right? Get everything that you're interested in. But the pattern paper with the penguins in the back, and then the Santa sentiment, and that little like reindeer, all of that is in your kit. I think it's 44 pages. I think it's a big one. Because then there's also, where did he go? This one. So I wanted a sentiment that was like on the side that you could pull, right? And so that's this one. So you've got custom sentiments that you can, oh, I'm pushing too hard. There we go. You can print and like bulk make these. And the sentiments aren't just Christmas, because I know what time of year it is. And some of you are done with your Christmas cards. So there's also just like birthday, winter themed stuff in there. So it will stretch you clear through the next like 4, or if you're around here, 8 months, which is a lot of fun.
But those, looking at those, because I know you're a card maker, those would be great for a scrapbooker as well,
yeah,
right? To have a little surprise, they could put a picture inside with a sentiment beside it and just pull it out.
Yeah.
So they could use it as a little surprise because it's flat, which is often what they want, something that can store. But I was looking at your video when I put it together, and I thought those are great just to put, and I don't even scrapbook, so I'm getting good at this.
I mean,
those are great to put on a scrapbook page because you could just pull it out. It would flip open, but it would store flat, and you could have a hidden thing underneath it.
So. Yeah. Well, so, and if you have that VIP ticket, you get all of those sentiments, all of the images, everything as image files instead of just a PDF. So then you can resize them for your scrapbook. Some of these will work. This is me also trying to learn about scrapbooking. Some of them will work as titles. I think they're called titles, like the big heading.
Titles, journaling. They call them many different things.
There we go.
But yeah, they would work as titles, but the mechanism in that would work too. But I think we did last night, we did our craft with a twist. Sorry, a crop with a twist. I'm losing my words. We did our crop with a twist, and we did scrap and dash. So we gave them something new every 5 minutes that they had to add to it. And one of the things was a surprise, right? So that's the type of thing that you can use to create a surprise or an interactive element on your card. Which is great. So it's a great idea, as well as taking advantage of Sarah's emergency kits, which are cool.
Awesome. There's a couple like quick questions I'd like to address here. Sometimes, yes, I will stamp the word pull on my tab, but I usually hand deliver, so I don't bother because I'm afraid of messing it up. And somebody else is asking about freebie links. They're on the speaker pages, right? So if you go to my class and you watch my video, it's below the video.
It's also on the Meet the Speaker page so they do stay up for the whole live summit. So Sarah can, so what we do purposely, because I hate it when you're like, oh, I missed the first day and I missed all those freebies, but we also want the speakers to have as much exposure as possible. So when you go to the Meet the Speaker page and you go down to Sarah's profile, which is at the top because she's a sponsor, go to the right-hand side, you can download her freebie from there as well. And she has a wonderful gift, like she said, of a much more extensive one in the VIP Fun Bundle. Yeah. So if you're a VIP, and I know lots of people who are on here are VIPs, remember to go look for that as well. So you'll be able to get all of that fun stuff that Sara creates.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that they don't have to be here this one day. I get a lot of people stressed out about this, and it's not the same for every summit. And so sometimes I forget who's doing what.
Yeah, so we've always done that just because of exactly what you're saying. We want our summit to be accessible, but it's also to be transparent. It's for you, both for the people, but it's also for the speakers.
Right.
We want the speakers to get as much exposure and as much people coming into their world. So by having it for the full summit, it's the best of both worlds for everyone. And so that's why it's awesome.
I mean, that's the best part for me about a summit, is that I get to meet so many new people. And then it's like that first video I posted, and here's all these comments, and I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about it like that, or oh, this is a fresh pair of eyes on this. It is delightful. It's one of my favorite things.
Yes, and that's exactly it. So someone hasn't done it, but they love your emergency kits. And this is so true. Sara has a huge fan base, and she's generous to everybody, which is so good.
I love Carol. She's so great.
Great presentation. I'm catching up to the comments. Love how Sara kits are always the same size sentiment, so easy to craft with. And I know you spend a lot of thought, right? Sara puts a lot of thought to how she puts her kits together. And again, this is the first time we spoke to you, was about making things accessible to everyone, making it easy to do things.
Yeah, it's an expensive industry, right? Everybody wants to be inspired. Everybody wants to watch. There's so many great YouTubers and card makers out there, and you do that. But like, a lot of us are on design teams, and we're using products that are brand new, so you don't have them in your stash. And I get that. That's frustrating and hard. And so I just want to make sure people know, if I'm making a card, you can easily swap things out. And I probably have something you can download for free to make it even easier.
And that's great. And then someone was saying that they make lots of cards for charity, and really love how easy kits make it to make cards, especially for kids. So thank you so much. So it's not just not us ladies of a certain age who make cards. Lots of people can make cards.
And if you donate cards, and you go to my YouTube channel, is Sassy's LLC, right? And on the homepage, there's like a little search bar that's just for my channel. There is a kit that is specifically for Cards for Kindness, which is one of the places you can donate. And so it attempts to hit all those big themes that people are typically looking for card donations.
Excellent. How do you get the inspiration for all of your kits of 80, 90? What are you going to do when you make 100? So 2 questions there. You answer this one, and then I'm going to ask you what you're going to do when you hit 100.
We're going to have a big party. I was kind of hoping the kit on January, well, the first Friday in January would be 100, but that means a lot of kits between now and the end of the year.
It does mean a lot of kits.
It could happen. So here's the thing. I intend to do one big kit a month on the first Friday, but then I'm in the middle of making a card, and I'm like, ooh, wouldn't this sentiment be funny? So then I'll release like 2 pages, just a quick little something. So those count as kit numbers too, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a big something. And I've got more big stuff coming up in January. Again, hoping at the beginning of January. I'm revamping my website completely. I moved to Patreon, or I started at Patreon about a year ago. And I feel like I've kind of outgrown what that platform can do. And it's not always the easiest to find things. So I will be launching, or moving, I guess, all of that over to my website. And there will be a free kit library that should be so much easier for people to come and explore. And if you're a member on Patreon, there will be a way for you to transition that membership over there. And again, it should be easier to find things. There's so many more cool things I want to offer that I can't do on Patreon. So that is coming. I'm so excited. It's going to be so great.
And it looks awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, Heather's been helping me actually, which is, I could not have done it without you.
And it's getting there. It's getting there. It's going to come out. I was going to say, here's a trick on things. Total different aside comes from it, but don't do it on January 1st, because too much is happening on January 1st. So you don't want your celebration to be buried in it.
True.
So I used to work with a guy, everybody puts out like New Year's cards and whatever. He did Groundhog Day cards. And
Oh.
he made such an impact because he was a business person sending Groundhog Day cards, and no one else does Groundhog Day cards, right?
You know what? Yeah,
So
okay.
sometimes trying to hit that big milestone because we think it's going to be more impactful. Everyone's hungover on the 1st of January anyways. So, hungover, they're tired. Just find a day and do the middle and make it your own.
You know what? Yes, thank you. That also takes some of the pressure off. There's so many things I want to do,
There's my business coaching hat. We were talking about it yesterday because I sponsored yesterday about helping creative
anybody
entrepreneurs.
if you're looking for a business coach, Heather is amazing, invaluable. All those sort of like techie things I didn't know, she was able to help me with. So,
and one of the things I like to do is take the stress off that we put on ourselves, right?
Yes.
So January 1st, don't go for it. Go pick a date somewhere in January.
It'll be great.
And we're going to make it Sarah's Day. You have ice cream day. You just went very white.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You have ice cream day. You have this. We can just make it Sassy's Day. So there you go.
We will. Okay, so there's a question that's been on the screen for a while.
How do you get the inspiration for all your kits?
That's a great question. And a lot of times it's seasonal, right? So like in July, we did a classic Christmas in July kit. This month is about thanks and gratitude. And so actually it's kind of a crazy month for me. I collaborated this month with Call Me Crafty Al. If you love freebies, she does a sheet load of cards every month. And so I designed sentiments that will fit on her sheet load. And then on Friday, I released the big kit, but then there will be a little add-on, I think this week, with turkeys because it's Thanksgiving, right? So sometimes it's, a friend of mine is like, hey, do you want to collab on something? Sometimes it's all of you, right? I get comments where people are asking for particular kits. And if the same request is coming up a couple of times, that'll happen. Over in Patreon, I have a free membership in Patreon, by the way, right? There's like extra free downloads in Patreon and you can join for free. It's Sassy's LLC at Patreon. But sometimes we'll do a poll. If I've got 3 or 4 ideas or things people have been asking for, I'll let people vote and find out what you're most interested in. And sometimes if there's not a lot of interest, but there's a little, then I'll do like a short, small little something. Here's my favorite new thing I've been doing. I call it a quick quad. And so instead of like a whole big kit, it's like that. So it's just like 4 sentiments and a bunch of different formats for quick and easy cards. So yeah, it's a little bit of everywhere.
Do you ever have the inspiration in that? I have someone I follow who says she has the shower gods. So she's having a shower, and that's where the inspiration comes when you're in the shower. You're like, oh, I got to write it down somewhere.
Yeah. And if you have ideas for me, you can always like in Patreon, there's a way to like direct message me, or you can message me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. You can email me. My email is not that hard to find. I get a little nervous about just like saying it on a video. But yeah, just let me know what you're interested in.
Other people, I'm catching up on the comments, which is good.
Excellent.
Sarah, you do snarky so well.
Look, it is a tamer snarky than it started out as. But I move through the world laughing. Oh, hi, Carlos. When times are hard, I don't want people coming up to me and saying, I'm so sorry, it's going to be okay. I would rather they come up and like poke a little bit and make me chuckle and make me laugh and like lift the mood a little bit. That's just how I survive. And so I always try for a mix of some like sweet sentiments and snarky sentiments. Think like shoebox greetings, right? There's no swear words. It's not like that. But like there's one in the kit that just came out that says research shows late thank you cards contain 80% more gratitude, right? So just fun little things.
How do you come up with those? They just pop in?
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, that's the talent. That's a talent, right? Some of us are good at creating them and some of them aren't. Some of us are good at buying our money, spending our money to get them from people who are good at creating them like you. And some of them aren't.
Well, like so I'm an English professor. My graduate degree is in creative writing. And so this is the creative writing I do now, which is fun.
which is good. Someone said they also love your essential die collection. What is that?
So I have designed 3 different die sets for Trinity Stamps, which is a lovely company out of Washington State here in the US. And set number 1 just has like really, really basic shapes. If you want matte layers for your circle sentiments, it's got that. There's a scallop rectangle for your rectangle sentiments. Those are the 2 sizes that are in almost every kit. There are strip sentiments and strip matte layers and all those sorts of things. Kit number 2 has like a layout that's really great for pairing with your cards and adding details, but then there's also a pop-up in there. And then set 3 is a bunch of little mechanism pieces to make a variety of different pop-ups. It might be my favorite because I love a pop-up. I love a pop-up.
Excellent. Someone says we can tell that you love what you do. You can see it on your face, hear it in her voice, and read it in her kits. There you go.
Oh, thank you. I do. And that's a hard line for me. I don't like, I'm never going to post a video using products I don't like or, yeah, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it.
Which makes sense. Question, your digital circuit sentiments, what size punch do you need? Love your presentation and your digital great teachings, I think.
Oh, thank you. So I use a 1 3/4 inch circle punch that is very bright and shiny. But you could use a die. So 1 3/4 of an inch. But if you don't have that size, some of them will fit in a slightly smaller circle or a slightly larger circle. So check and see what you have. And then you're always going to get a page of the circle sentiments that doesn't have a printed circle around it. And so you could cut it out in any shape you want.
Good. Someone loves your teaching and the way you make it so clear where to glue, which I guess is a really important part of it too, right? Good.
Yes. You know, I went to the University of YouTube, and there are some really great teachers for pop-ups and interactives. And so huge shouts out to Sam Calcott, the Mixed Up Crafts channel. I think she's one of the people that influenced me a lot, and Karen Burdiston, on how to teach like pop-ups and interactives.
And this one leads into this question. I've never worked with the slider before. Are they complicated to learn? Your video makes it look so simple.
Oh, I think you mean the slider that's on like the cards that we made in class.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty simple, right? I get really nerdy about pop-ups. So for Christmas, most years, I have found a lot of them are old books about paper engineering and how to create pop-up mechanisms. And so sometimes I go through these and they made it kind of complicated. And I will wake up in the middle of the night going, that's not necessary. And like wandering into the craft room, which is really just the bedroom next door, and trying to simplify or redesign something that I'd been studying. And this one I think is pretty user-friendly.
And that's actually cool too, because they look more complicated sometimes than they are. And we get intimidated by stuff and we don't try.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the second one, it's this one that has the flag on the side. I think that one is simpler even than the first one. I wasn't sure it was going to work, I'll be honest. And yeah, I love that one.
And it did work. So thank you for the wonderful kits is another one. This we get lots of. I'm catching up on these. We love you so much. You are very popular. I'm not seeing in links for the free kit. Where was the separate email? The links are not in the email for the free kit. So you have to go to the website pages. You have to go under Sarah's presentation, and there is a link to download to connect to the free kit. Mm-hmm. So if it's an email from Sarah, that's a slightly different question, but it doesn't come an email from us. You have to go in, click on Sarah's link, and then register with Sarah. We do not, just from a privacy perspective, we do not share our email list. We should never share our email list, just from an ethical, forget about privacy. But in Canada, we can't. So we have different email marketing laws than other countries, and sharing an email list is something we do. So this is how you get into Sarah's world, is you go and download the freebie, and she's very generous. She said she has a whole, every kit, there's something that she gives for free to do it. So Sarah's a huge, generous heart in how she's setting up her business to support you guys. and then tempt you with all of her beautiful stuff that you have to join into. You have to join her world, but she has some very beautiful things that you can get there. I adore Sarah's sentiments. I use them for bulk cards I send out, which I think is a lot of what you want to do.
They're great for that.
And you already answered, did you add the word pull, making cards for others? Yeah. Sad I missed it. I'm not sure what you missed, but just joined here. Just joined. You may have already answered. What printer do you use? You didn't ask that one. No, they haven't answered that one yet.
Question. Yeah. So I have 2 printers. And my laser printer is extravagant and unnecessary and actually doesn't deal with heavyweight cardstock very well. And I don't think they make it anymore. It's an HP something. But anything with color that I'm not looking to foil, I use my Canon G7020. It's a tank printer. Whatever printer you have, okay, whatever you already have, before you go buy a new printer, buy better paper. Buy a matte photo paper. I did a ton of research before I bought my printer, and I thought I was going to be okay. And then I tried just printing on the regular hammer mill that I use in my laser printer, and I felt that everything was coming out kind of faded. And I played with the settings. Most printers, especially if it's like a tank printer or something where they've said it's good for crafting or for photo printing, you can change the saturation or the brightness, these sorts of things. And I did all that. I spent a month and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasted my money. And then I bought matte photo paper. Hang on. I grabbed this because this question comes up a lot. I buy this one. It says it's 48 pounds, but it feels more like what we would think of as a 65 pound. Okay. Photo paper is designed to absorb the ink from your printer differently, better. Okay. And I get beautiful, vibrant colors. These papers are printed. They're printed and it's a seamless print. So that's the koala.
The koala's been very popular. Yeah, I think it's very popular with everyone.
It's
that particular
pretty economical, and like keep an eye out on Black Friday. Sometimes it'll go on, not a ton on sale, but a little bit on sale. If I have another one, I prepped you guys. If you're like, I want something heavier than a 65 pound. There are not a ton of options through like an Amazon. If you go to like a specialty photo paper place, then you can get like 100-pound, 300 GSM matte photo paper. On Amazon, the closest I have found is this one. What does it say? Okay. And sometimes it's out of stock. It's sort of a weird company. One of them took like 2 months to get to me. I don't know why. But it's a 250 GSM. So it feels more like a heavyweight embellishment piece if I'm going to print images and then run them through my scan and cut or do like a print and cut feature. So try better paper first. And then if that's not working, then you can start looking at other printers. But a lot of times the solution is cheaper than that.
Well, and what Tracy would say, she's either not on camera and busy, you can't print if your printer is not able to, you cannot print a heavier pound paper. Right. And there was a great explanation yesterday, and I'm not going to get it wrong. The way that the paper, I'm not going to get it right. I'm not going to get it right. The way the paper runs through your printer, if it bends it too much, you can't use a heavier weight paper. But printers do have a spec. And if you try to put too heavy a weight paper in it, it's not going to print well, or it's not going to handle the paper. So know what your printer is able to do.
Right.
And the piece of advice someone gave yesterday was get the highest weight that your printer tolerates.
Yeah. And look for one that has a rear feed. That's why my laser printer, I really don't recommend to people, is because it goes from the bottom tray and it curls through. Exactly. You can't curl 100-pound, 300 GSM cardstock. Like it's not going to work well. But if it has a rear feed, then it really doesn't have to curl and bend like that. And so a lot of times then if it has that rear feed and you check the specs, it will typically allow for a higher weight.
Yeah. So that's part of it too. So good paper to what your printer can tolerate is kind of the idea of what to do. Somebody says they haven't been able to get my freebie help. It's not sending the email. So just reach out and let us know, because we don't know whether that's our end or Sarah's end. So we need to look and see If you, there's a lot of variables when it comes to all this stuff. So just reach out and let us know. Check your spam folder 100%. Even if all of Sarah's emails don't go in your spam folder, the next one might. You know, it happens to us because we have a lot of links in our emails. So you get them all, and then people say they don't get them, and it's go check your spam folder. There is no rhyme or reason to this stuff, right? And if you happen to be at rr.com, you might not get there. I don't know why, right? So, so check your spam folders, check that, let us know, and we will help you. Definitely Sarah will help you. I'll help you, Tracy. It's so individual that it's hard to tell. Susan asked Tracy how the crop's going. We don't know because she's not paying attention to us. So she must be getting lots of people.
Busy.
So I'm a Patreon member. Will the file be editable?
So my freebie for the summit is not available through Patreon. You have to get it through the summit. It is a PDF, so it is not editable. The last couple summits I've done, people have, I don't know how they have things set up. It's trying to, or they are trying to open it as an editable document, and it is not. And part of that is that I use special fonts that I've paid for and licensed. And if you don't have those fonts, it shows up as like gibberish. The most editable things get are if you have that VIP ticket, you can resize and you can duplicate and delete things, but you still can't go in and like edit the text.
Right. And she did found her freebie in the junk folder. So there we go. We are solving that one. I didn't see that the VIP was, so somebody says, thank you. She didn't see the VIP was resizable. Can't wait to go and play with it in her Cricut. So it's someone who has the VIP. So yes.
Yes, they're perfect.
From another summit. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the cards for kindness kit. Somebody found that. There you go.
Good.
We already answered this. What size punch do you use?
Yes. And then somebody else was asking if they can use a 2-inch punch. Yes, you might have more white space around it, but go to the page where there's no printed circle. Use a 2-inch. You'll be fine.
So someone said, where's the speaker page? It's the very top of any page. There's a button, a big green button that says speaker page. If you're having problems with it, just reach out. You might be blocking a pop-up, all this kind of stuff. It is there. It's called the speaker and goodie page. I'm not getting a link each day for the summit. If you're not getting your emails each day for the summit, Betsy, reach out. You could be blocking our email address. You could have unsubscribed. You might be at an email like rr.com. It's hard to answer that. We kind of have to figure it out individually. And honestly, this is what happens to us. We've had people who complain that they're not getting this stuff for our summit, but they're actually looking for somebody else's summit. I'm not saying that's you, Betsy, but we do get those who send us the receipt and say, here, I bought it. And we're like, no, that's not our summit. So remember, if you're not getting it, it's not us. It's usually somewhere between us sending an email and you getting it. There's a whole bunch of systems that happen there. Some of them are on our side and some of them are on your side. And so we do our best. We will work through any issue, but we need to know specifics. So either post in the Facebook group or respond to an email and we will help you work it out. So it's not always easy. You can do it, Sara Lee, live stream celebration for 100. So there you go. We're coming up with what your 100 celebration is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
somebody was asking about sentiments for like individual people as opposed to, this one. Yeah. So I try to be aware of that. And so especially for holiday sentiments, a lot of my kits will have the same sentiment 2 ways, one from like an individual and one from us, if that makes sense. I can't do that all the time, or I don't remember to do that all the time, but I do try my best to be aware of it and to be inclusive.
Excellent. This one's your kits are great. I also enjoy all of your fun folds and interactive cards.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the kits. It's also about how you teach. I think that's part of it. The kits is part of it, but how Sara teaches and uses her kits is where the magic happens.
Can I show you? Here's the one we made Friday. And it creates this like really fun pop-up.
And it stands nicely, I would think.
Yes. Yes. Or then I was just on Craft Roulette and we made this one and it like opens up in this. So I made a video afterwards to show people how to do that. And then of course give away some free sentiments.
So here's some feedback for you. Yes, thank you for moving from Patreon. I find it so difficult to find anything there. It's going to be so easy to find stuff on Sarah's new site when we get
We've worked so hard on it. Meg, yes, I hear you.
there. I see you. This one's, whoops, where I go. I see you copyright with your kits. Can creators sell the completed card?
Yes. So here's what I would ask. A lot of what I have for you is free. And the goal is to make card making more affordable and more accessible for everyone. And so in much the same way that other companies have angel policies, tell people, be like, hey, especially if like you're selling cards at a craft fair or something, somebody mentions that they're a card maker, let them know that they're free. Let them know that they can get them too, because I want more people to be able to do this. And I know what housing costs these days. I know what groceries look like these days. So that's all I ask, is just let people know.
It's a good question, and we've talked a lot about copywriting. We actually learned some interesting things on copywriting yesterday. Did you know that an image is copyrighted for the life of the photographer plus 70 years? So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so if they take a picture, it's the life as long as until this how long this photographer lives plus 70 years.
Yeah. Well, and that's so like Steamboat Willie is public domain, and so that was about the life of the artist in 70 years. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it's like, okay, and then it's not all countries are the same, of course, but yes. So question, I made cards for VA hospital. Do you have sentiments for this type of card?
Yes. So the question is, what are you looking for? There was a kit that came out last fall that was particularly geared towards servicemen and women, but then like also sort of including police officers and things in that, firefighters, and then military. But then there's also like, because you're talking about a VA hospital, there are several get well kits, but there's also kits that are like, some people don't get better from what they're struggling with. And so it's more about like, have a feel good day. So yeah, there's kits for all that. Again, on my YouTube channel, sometimes that's the best place to begin if you're new to me, is just in the search bar that is specific to my channel, look for get well, or look for encouragement, or look for military. And then there's always a video that will show you the whole kit and tell you how to get it.
And that's great. I mean, sometimes for VA hospitals and nursing home, giving them cards they can send to their loved ones is good too. Right. I mean, I spent unfortunately or fortunately with my parents, I spent a couple of years helping. And that was, there's people who just don't have visitors, and they want to send cards to their loved ones, and they need a mechanism to do that. So that can work really well as well. So I'm another one who says, yay for getting off Patreon.
I tell you what, it was the easiest way to get started. And they are working so hard to make it better. And I do think it's better, but
it's very common in the artistic community. It's not necessarily a good business tool, says the business coach. It's not a great business coach, but it's a great tool to get started. And it's similar with some of them. They kind of take advantage of that, right? In a way, not intentionally, but they take advantage of that. Somebody says they appreciate that you make them in different shapes and sizes. So if you want to speak to that, you work at having them for different cards and sizes.
Yeah. So for the first 50 kits, we'll say, maybe more like 70, it was really just a 1 3/4 inch circle, and then a rectangle that is 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then 1/4 inch strip sentiments. And they all kind of had that. But lately, I've really been loving making like unique sentiment sizes. Like this is not my standard size, but this one is over here. And so I've been adding in a mix of some other like custom different somethings. So there's just more to choose from, more to play with.
Which is always fun.
Yeah.
So some on your freebie, wow, 44 pages. So there you go. Yes, Sarah's extremely generous. So
this is a top secret. Don't tell anybody. Part of what I love about summits is that I do have paid membership in Patreon. And when I release a big kit like I did yesterday, there's a good chunk of that kit that is for paid members of Patreon. And I know not everybody wants to or can afford to do that. And if I do a summit, I can make a big kit and give the whole thing away for free. And I love that.
And then she gives more if you're a VIP. So like, that's the generosity. Somebody's asking if you have sentiments for death or hospice.
Yes, look for sympathy on the channel. Okay. And there's sympathy in all kinds of different ways. I think there's 2 different kits that address that.
Excellent. I think you already answered this, but on the PDF, what size is the punch? Is it a 2-inch punch?
Yeah. So 1 3/4 inches is what I designed them for, but a 2-inch punch will work. You can certainly do that.
So I gotta love this one. It's like somebody asked, did you make the chicken behind you?
Oh, I didn't. The very last craft fair I did, there had been this woman in the booth across from me for a year or 2, and she made that chicken. I think it's supposed to go on your front door. But I was like, oh no, that goes in the craft room.
So here, somebody's got a suggestion for you. It's National Belly Laughing Day on January 24th. That would be fun for your snarky sentiments and your
Susan Tramper, of course.
There's always Susan's everywhere. Susan's great. But there's always some idea out there.
I'm writing it down right now.
You can find a day. Wow, you're amazing. I wish you had somebody said they wish they had a professor like you when they were in school.
Oh, thank you. You know what?
So somebody
else delightful to have 2 drops.
Is your anniversary for emergency kits in February? You could just aim for your anniversary date.
It's January 1st. And I don't release kits on the 1st of the month anymore. It's the first Friday of the month, but
I think National Belly Laugh Day could fit you quite well.
I think that might be great. I think that'd be hilarious. Maybe we'll bring some crafty friends in too.
So this one, I think you answered this one. She's clarifying your question. Can you write sentiments focused on singular sender rather than couples or families? I think.
Yeah, and I try my best. So kind of depending on the kit, but yeah, I try to be careful of that.
Someone said your card making was made, we made in the class are super easy to make. I'm getting ready to make another one. Post them. If you make cards, post them in the Facebook group. It's the best form of flattery so they can see them. You taught someone how to make their first pop-up card.
Woohoo! Oh my goodness. A bouquet of flowers pop out of the card. That's a fancy one. I love that. Look, pop-ups are not that hard as long as you have a good teacher. So I am delighted that people find my teaching style helpful in that way.
Well, people love your teaching style. That's what we can say here.
It is the Koala inkjet matte photo paper, 48 pounds. So it's 180 GSM, 100 sheets. So
it was the other one, I think, too. The other one that you held up, the one that you said comes and goes.
Yep. So, and again, you can always go back and like rewatch or rewind. You can take screenshots of these. I don't know where I put the other one. Okay, here's the weird one. It's Mr. R inkjet photo paper. It is 250 GSM and you get 100 sheets. And honestly, this heavier weight one was $1 or $2 more when I got it than the Koala that I buy all the time. I will say it has a hint of yellow to it, right? It's not that same bright white, but if I'm printing a lot of color, it doesn't matter. Like it's not
matte or glossy? Somebody asked.
Matte. I like matte. I will tell you, one of the things to know about matte photo paper, don't put a sticky note on there. Or don't like use your low tack tape and run that through your die cutting machine. I don't know what it is about the way the paper's coated. That sticky immediately gets picked up by this and stays on there. I can use my adhesive remover to like eraser to remove it. You know, the yellow ones, the little rubbery ones. But that's a pain. So don't put anything sticky on it.
Question about your winter scene, and I'm keeping an eye on the time because we have another one at 1. But
yeah,
it's okay. Another one at 1, I think, is on here, but we still do.
Good question, Sherry. So the VIP bundle, I have not opened that file. Maybe since I turned it in, should have all of these little like the sentiment winter scenes and the digital paper and the standalone sentiments and the standalone ephemera. All of that should be resizable.
Somebody asked a question, which will go away eventually. What level of Patreon do you have to have for all of these things?
So I released a kit yesterday that is, I'm going to get it wrong, we'll say 45 pages. The first 10 pages are free in Patreon. So you sign up for a free, like just to join my Patreon on a free membership, and you can get, instead of the like 2 pages that I stick in YouTube, just because I know some people don't have the technical skill for Patreon. But there's 10 pages for free. And then right now there's a $5, a $12, and a $25 tier. The top tiers, honestly, are the most valuable. And that $5 tier is not going to be around a whole lot longer. One of the challenges is at $5, you can get some extra pages, but it's still just a PDF. You get a database you can search and by sketch or by kit theme, but it's not a direct download. And I don't think it's that good. I want to offer something better.
Well, it gets too complicated when you have too many choices.
Well, right.
With too many choices.
I have 5 different tiers right now, and managing that is a lot because I do have a full-time job. So I would recommend, like, the $12 tier is great. You get the entire PDF. Every time I release something, you get the whole PDF, more or less. There's occasionally, not very often, things that $25 tier has been getting. But then they've got a database where they can sort of find the sketch, find the kit, download the kit, do those sorts of things. That $25 tier then gets like all of that. So searchable database and sketch downloads, but then they also have all of the image files, all of the sentiment files, all the everything as resizable images, right? So it just becomes this really fantastic, rich resource that you can use in any way you want.
Very cool. Tracy, Debbie just joined here. This is a total aside for technology, which means you sent Debbie the wrong link for her restream. You need to send her the right link for her restream. Debbie, we're sending you the right link for your restream. Otherwise, it won't broadcast to the right place. So, unless Debbie snuck in and got it some other way, but that would be the only way to do it. Somebody asked, can I request the black card you show to be an MCA card? I don't know what an MCA card is. You might know.
MCA card. Black card from an MCA. I know it's Mystery Craft Along. I don't remember which card it is. Susan Tremper, you can message me and maybe more details on what card that was. I make way too many cards, you guys. I can't keep them straight.
That's okay. Somebody said, will there be a free level on your new site?
Yes. And that's kind of it too, is there will be a better way to find for free the tutorials for all the fun folds and pop-ups, the free download version of things, right? And so like Patreon, it's like a free membership. And you'll just sign in and then you'll have this huge library of things to choose from.
Excellent. Well, we have to get going to another one, but thank you, Sara, again for answering all the questions. You have a fan club, as you can tell. If you have, if you make one of Sara's cards, post in the Facebook group if you're in the Facebook group.
Tag me.
Yeah, and tag her, and she'll come and see it. I always go by if you're not able, because sometimes Facebook lets you tag and sometimes it doesn't. I try to tag them all. I go in and tag anybody I see that's done, so we will tag you as well. And I know, Sara, I think there's this like 100th birthday, 100th celebration, new site celebration. Put them all together.
It's coming. It's coming.
Lots of wonderful stuff coming from Sara. Now you can say coming from Sara in 2026 in the new year.
Right. That's so scary. Yeah, but it is. It is.
And it's not that far away, unfortunately. 2026 is just around the corner.
I know. Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining us live again, Sara. Thank you for all that you do for our summits. We love having you as part of our summits. We love the enthusiasm that you bring. It's just wonderful. So thank you so much for that. And we will be back in 5 minutes with Debbie on our next Q&A.
Is it Debbie J?
When Debbie gets the link from Tracy. We might be a few minutes late. Susan will type that in for you. We might be a few minutes late.
It's all my fault. It's all my fault. All right,
It's going to be okay. It's going to be great.
You can cut and paste the link wrong. That is super easy. So thank you all. We'll see you soon.